Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Stratton, and as Fran mentioned, I'm an R&D manager with Zon, and I'm honored to be here to discuss considerations of outsourcing design work and also highlighting the Henry Schein Prosthetic Design Service, which is an outsourced design service we started this year. Some of you may already be familiar with design services, and some may be exploring this for the first time, but I hope you can all get something useful out of today's presentation. So I wanted to start with a couple analytics that seem particularly relevant in today's workplace. It used to be cliche to say something like, good help is hard to find. And it seems that that statement is more pertinent than ever today. As of the most recent reporting by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, job openings are up to 10.9 million, and the quit rate for employees is up to 2.9% in the US. These are the highest levels reported since this data was first started to be collected back in 2000. And I think the point being that business owners are increasingly likely to face employee retention issues as well as unfilled job requisitions. I don't think the dental lab market is immune from this situation. And while we can hope that things start to trend in a better direction, we need to start preparing our businesses against this current trend and get some safety nets in place. Now, regardless of the state of the economy, our industry has always faced fluctuating volumes throughout the year, and it makes it quite challenging in and of itself to remain adequately staffed to provide timely, quality products back to the customers. With the employment challenges noted earlier, I think this issue will only be exacerbated. On the chart here, I'm showing kind of generic weekly volumes here that could easily look similar to many labs' volumes, just in different scales. And the same question would apply to owners of where you set your internal staffing levels. The line here represents kind of the average volume across those weeks, and that may be where you choose to set your staffing. But regardless, there's always going to be a balance between being over capacity, where you do not have enough staff, and being under capacity, where you have more staff than work to complete. When you're over capacity, generally you're getting into situations of late cases, paying people overtime, or perhaps sacrificing quality to get the work out. Conversely, when you're under capacity, you may be paying for staff that you're not fully utilizing, and not bringing in the same amount of money that you're putting into the business. So I think these are kind of common challenges and ones that every business encounters, especially as it relates to kind of this custom work that's not static across time, right? And so that kind of brings us to the topic of why outsource. Clearly, one of the main advantages of using a design service is to remove some of the stress and effort around those fluctuating volumes. If you have a large spike in cases, you can outsource the overflow and not worry about having the manpower to get through them all. It lets you set your internal staffing levels lower than you might otherwise and still feel confident that you can grow your business and not turn work away. With this approach, you only pay for what you need, and you can deal with things like volume spikes, sick days, vacation, and turnover with less stress and more confidence. Some of the other aspects to outsourcing, relate to your cost management, like we spoke about earlier. You're only paying really for what you need. So there isn't this capacity question about the work that you're needing to complete. It's a fixed cost for each design, and so you know exactly how much those products are going to cost you and ultimately what you need to charge for those products. We'll get into some of the pricing of our service in a bit, but we do offer competitive rates, and I think it's justifiable for a business to bring on a service like this to help deal with their staffing and maybe even replace it in some instances. Finally, one of the other considerations to outsource is the capabilities that you might have within your internal staff. It could be the case that you do not currently offer indications based on the skill level and experience of your staff. So using an outsourced service can help tap into expertise out there to design some of these indications that you might not be currently doing and offer those as new products to your customers, ultimately with the goal of getting new customers and expanding the work from your current customer base. So to talk a little bit about Henry Schein Design Services in particular, I wanted to just briefly cover the products that we offer. So on the screen here, you can see our more popular products. We do have more beyond this, but these are kind of the core products offered today. So crown and bridge, obviously we do and excel at. Variations of crown and bridge like cutbacks are very much accommodated. Split file designs where we're doing a coping and a crown on top of that, to facilitate traditional kind of PFM restorations. Full arch bridges, snap-on smiles, model design, which is a big component now with more and more intraoral scanning being incorporated into workflows. All types of screw retained indications like custom abutments, hybrid custom abutments, screw retained crowns and bridges. We do those and excel at. Diagnostic wax ups. And then once we get into kind of the removable side of things, we offer products like splints, night guards, removable partial dentures, full dentures, and all the different flavors that those come in, be it, just single arch denture, two arch full dentures, immediate over implant dentures, you name it, we can accommodate. Also coming very soon, we think we'll be able to support surgical guides with implant planning, as well as aligners, something that has not been traditionally available to dental labs, but we'll be able to offer that as a service as well. So I think we have a pretty comprehensive offering as far as the products that you may need to outsource to us, and definitely encompasses areas that some labs may not be fully strong in, and may be good candidates to start with outsourcing. To talk a little bit about the workflow that you might experience using our service. Basically, we leverage a product called DDX, which has already existed in the workplace for quite a while. It's a tool that facilitates data transfer between dentists and laboratories, labs to labs, labs to service providers, all sorts of things. And this is the portal that we're leveraging to accept new orders into our design service. So once you sign up, you would be provided with a free DDX account, and you would use that to input your case data to get it to us. And that's also the place that you would ultimately retrieve your files from as well. So basically, once you submit your case into DDX, it's going to go into our main Henry Schein gateway. And then ultimately, we're going to route that to one of our multiple design lab partners. Currently, we have 2 on board, and really these are meant to help us manage our own bandwidth as well as leverage expertise that may exist in one center versus another. So we're kind of taking on that load balancing to help facilitate the volumes that are out there needing to be designed. And we will add or subtract from these partners as needed to best accommodate the volumes and the quality that we're looking for any sort of indication. We are, your contact throughout all of this process. So customer support, if you have any issues with designs or just questions in general, we are your contact. You're never having to deal with any independent design center. And all of the billing and accounting will be managed by us as well. So we are your one-stop shop to provide all of these services and to handle any questions or feedback that you might have. Regarding turnaround times, generally we offer within 24-hour turnaround time. That being said, I would say 95% of the cases that you submit on one day will be ready for you first thing in the morning the following day. It's just you need a little padding sometimes, given some situations, and 24 hours is kind of the general theme or expectation there. But like I said, most times your designs are going to be ready first thing when you come in the morning, and you can go on with your day. We do offer a rush service with most of the products, and that's usually going to be returned to you within 3 hours from submission. So you'll see that as a selection on your portal when you enter your case. You can choose the level of service that you want. And like I say, rush is available for most of those products. It's generally only restricted to not large restorations. So 3 units or less generally are eligible for rush service. It's just we would not be able to turn around a full denture within 3 hours and have it be as good a quality as we want to provide. But you will find that we're able to return the products in a very timely manner for you. I wanted to play a quick video for you showing the actual process of submitting a case to our service, just to give you a good flavor for what that looks like. So this is the DDX portal, and you can see walking through setting up a new case. You can enter either a patient name or your internal case number, a PAN number, whatever helps you correlate best back into your internal system as the last name. Sorry, I restarted that. So we'll enter the last name here, and then we're going to indicate which products you're actually wanting to receive. So you choose from the menu, and then we can see we have a whole set of preferences here, and these are dependent on the product that you select. So related to, in this case, bridge, we have a number of different preferences that you might choose. The other important thing to note is that little heart icon next to each preference. That's something that you can click and will be remembered for the next time you choose this product. You can say, I always want light occlusion on my bridges. So if you choose that heart icon, that will be remembered so you don't have to make that selection each and every time. As far as uploading the files, it's a pretty easy process of dragging and dropping your scan data onto our upload form. This will transfer the data, as well as if it's a 3Shape or an ExoCAD project file, show you any patient name or teeth number information that was in that project. So we can complete the setup form here, which includes indicating the teeth, and should be ready to submit at this point. Note that you can also add additional comments here, and we strongly encourage you to add comments, especially if it's something non-standard, based on your previous work or something that you really want to emphasize be incorporated into the design. We do read those comments for every case, and we are very diligent in making sure that we accommodate what is noted there. So please be descriptive where appropriate. So that's basically the process for submitting a case. Very quick, not too bad. And as far as actually retrieving the files, we have another quick video here. So this could be the following morning. When you come in, you find your case, and you'll notice that we have a few files available here. At the bottom, you'll see your original file that was uploaded. So we make sure to maintain that. It is renamed _ORIG just to give it a differentiation between that and the completed project file. But we do offer both zip files, which is generally the CAD project file in whatever format you initially provided. So if you uploaded a 3Shape project initially, we will provide you a 3Shape project of the same version back. And same thing for ExoCAD. And we do also list out the STL files, one or more depending on the case, but those are available to download separately in case you want to just download those and insert them directly into your manufacturing process. If you do want to work with the completed design project file, you can certainly download that. In this case, I'm showing how we import that information back into your 3Shape system. So it's a simple matter of downloading that zip file, importing into 3Shape, making sure you're choosing to update the existing project that you have in your CAD system, and it'll be updated with all of the design information that was performed by our team. So once this completes importing, you'll be able to look at the 3D preview, which shows you the restoration on the scanned arches. So in this case, you can see it actually seated onto the scanned data. This is 3Shape, so you can show the other arch and rotate around as you need to. And you can always feel free to go back into the design process of that CAD software and make small tweaks or anything if you had to. Of course, our goal is to provide you back with a design that absolutely meets your expectations and does not need to be tweaked, but the option is there for you, of course, if you need to do that. I would say if you do run into situations where you are making tweaks on your end, please let us know, because it's likely something that we can incorporate into your future designs and hopefully avoid you having to do that moving forward. Sorry, one sec here. So I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up with my slides. Sorry. So lastly, I just wanted to highlight our website that you can visit and get a little bit more information about the service. Let me try to bring up the site live here so I can show you on demand. So this is henryscheinDesignServices.com, and that's a place you can go to get initial information about the service, as well as reach out to us if you do want to sign up and try us out. So we do have a login button. If you're already connected, you can click this and that'll connect you to our DDX portal for case submission. We've got some information about our service as far as turnaround times and the different services available. Here's a full listing of the products and services we do currently offer. Again, we are constantly expanding this, so be sure to check back for new updates as they happen. We do have some videos here as well. If you forget any part of the workflow about case submission or retrieving files, we've got some videos here to help you with those questions. And finally, at the bottom is a quick form that you could fill out if you do want to try us. Just fill in your information and somebody from our team will get back in touch with you very quickly and can discuss pricing and any other questions you might have. We'll get you set up with a DDX account and making sure that you're able to log in and successfully submit cases. So that is our service in a nutshell. I hope you find this useful, and I think we can go to questions if there are any.
Yes, Matt, there are quite a few questions. The first one is, how can we be sure that your design service will use the same manufacturing settings that we found to be that we found to work well with our production equipment?
Right, yes, excellent question. So part of the onboarding process with new customers is us actually connecting to your existing CAD system and exporting your manufacturing settings from your system. So we correlate those with your account and make sure to use those when designing your cases moving forward. So in the 3Shape world, there's this DME information you may be familiar with. So we're able to export that information out and make sure to use that when we process your cases. The same thing actually applies to implant-based restorations. So any kind of implant libraries that you use for your cases, we'll want to make sure to get those so we're not really changing anything about your order at that point. So we should be able to design everything exactly with the parameters that you've already set and gotten comfortable with, and that's what should be returned to you.
Okay, excellent. The next one is, what types of files do you accept?
Right, so as far as the files to upload to our service, our preference is that you export the project file from your CAD software, be it 3Shape or ExoCAD or otherwise. That gives us the most information and the least likelihood of us misinterpreting what you're looking for in the case. But beyond that, you can also just upload STL files if that's what you have. I know, certain intraoral scanners, that might be the only data that you receive, or some of the other competitive closed CAD systems might only export STL data. That's totally fine as well, and we can work with that. You just want to make sure that you're selecting the right product and the right teeth, such that there's no confusion on our behalf as far as what to do with that generic scan data that you upload.
Is there a need to upload any photographs of a patient for the designs?
I think in some cases it can be very helpful. If you find that photographs are useful when you're designing your work, I'm sure we would as well. And pictures are definitely encouraged to be uploaded along with your scan data. So yes, by all means, please upload pictures, and we will use them to to make the best restoration possible for the case.
Okay, perfect. And x-rays as well, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, generally x-rays aren't so relevant at the point of designing the prosthetic. Certainly, for implant placement, excuse me, and once we get into implant planning, that will be critical data. But maybe x-ray information is not super relevant once the implant is already in place and we can't affect that at that point. I hope that makes sense, but
Yes.
I think ultimately the surface data is really all that's required at the point of designing the prosthetic.
Okay, great. Do you offer any discounts to evaluate the service?
Yes, actually, any new customer accounts are going to get 2 free cases by default when you sign up for the service. We have a promotional code going out, I believe, to all of the attendees of this webinar. So check your inboxes following this, and you'll get that information. Also, once you sign up with the service, we'll convey that to you again as well and give you the right code to enter into the portal to receive the discounts.